Hi, I'm Danny Butler.
Hi, I'm Sandy Plenty.
I am Stu Day. Hello.
And this is the Trialtube podcast. So we're back again with another episode, and obviously coming in your ears for the third.
That's going to become a catchphrase. They're going to be riding around a trial, and somebody's going to whiz past, going, "Coming in your ears."
Can we make stickers?
Yes, coming in your ears. Trialtube podcast.
And if you're listening to this right now and you are behind the wheel, please concentrate on the road and try your best not to crash the car like I crash a bike. Obviously, you can get a hold of the Trialtube podcast on Spotify, Apple, and if you want to watch the action,
Good old-fashioned YouTube.
That's it, right? That's it, old-fashioned YouTube.
Yeah.
The social media platform that is actually a search engine and not a platform. But once again, we have back with us the plentiful Sandy Plenty.
Now, you do know you are only one letter away from a porn star name, don't you?
Which letter?
The first one. If you put it as an R instead of an S.
Yeah. I'm 45 and I've heard every version of this.
Says me, Stu Day, all you've got to do is move the space and I become stud. Eh?
Oh my God.
How many times did you use that one down the pub?
Boom, boom.
Is that your chat up? Is that what you've used that as a chat up line, haven't you?
Stud.
We're not even getting going.
No,
on
we're not
yours.
going. No,
Your last
don't
name's
start me.
Butler.
I know, right? So yeah. Once again, we've been graciously supported for this episode by the guys at Sorra UK, which, as we all know, is a new clothing brand to the scene. I'm going to say new because a lot of them have been on the scene for a long time. However,
It's taken the trial scene by storm.
it has taken the trial scene by
Because
storm.
You can have your bespoke, cool stuff. Have it how you want it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's something that should have been done much sooner because everybody wants their own full factory look and full factory gear. You know, we'll get onto the word factory and what that really means.
Why not Luke the cool kiddie in the photo? Why
Yeah.
not?
I think the aim of it, from our standpoint, is to try and give the club and rider, the expert rider, the club rider, that factory feel with their local sponsor, their local motorbike shop, whatever, their name on the back. We can do that quickly.
And do you know what it does? It makes them feel a little bit more connected to the sport. They love it.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really important, cool thing. You hit the nail on the head. Should have been done yonks ago.
Yeah, back
Like
in the
a
day,
really
in the
good
late
podcast.
90s, when the one-piece suit was coming through,
Yep.
I think there was only two kids that had one-piece suits then.
Who were
One
they?
was me. I had one from Scott Leathers. And then I had another one that looked a little bit cooler. And I actually rode for Scott Leathers at the same time as Doug Lampkin rode for Scott Leathers in 1996.
I bought a Hebo.
You bought a Hebo one?
And I wore it once at a Mac Trials Club, and I had the absolute rip out of me, and I've never worn it since.
That's not like you. I thought you'd have just.
I thought you would have
wore it
just
more.
carried on and just worn it more.
Everybody's eyes just dropped at my package, and I felt really uncomfortable. I weren't as confident back then.
So,
You're
do
not.
you want me to start making them again? Or?
Maybe. I'll have to shift a bit of timber out middle though, or I'm going.
I'd love another one-piece suit. I think even my, shall we say, top and trouser attire that I wear now is almost one-piece suit inspired. I really like the pro trousers that that came before that were almost like half a one-piece suit. Yeah. Just so you know, ladies, wearing a one-piece suit is like the best.
Oh, it's so comfy.
It's so comfy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you're a trials rider and you want to wear the baggy trouser look and all this. And
Do you remember back in the day, Anson did a purple one to match the purple
the other
Techno?
rider, when we were kids, who had a one-piece suit was James Dable.
Okay.
And it was an Anson one that was a throwback or a carbon copy, shall we say. From what I can remember, I'm sure Dibs will correct me if I'm wrong, but it looked very similar to the one-piece suit of Doug Lampkin in '95, and it had Anson down the thighs.
Cool.
Anson as a brand actually made all of the gear back then for Beta, for Hamilton Yamaha.
Big. And then
they
went poof, gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we put in the comments below? Do you want the one-piece suit to come back or not?
100% yes on my vote.
Yeah, I'll be commenting on that one a yes.
I will lose timber, so I don't look like a Ribena berry if I wear a purple one.
From a manufacturing standpoint, TBC.
TBC.
Nice.
From the...
So, what inspired you to take the I am Sorra UK and I'm
That's a good question, actually. The honest answer is my late mum, who passed away 3 years ago now, bless her cotton socks, left me a little bit of money. It wasn't a huge amount of money. It was less than 10K. It's still a good amount of money. I thought, what am I going to do with it? Should I put it into the mortgage? Nah. What can I do with it? What can I do? I just waited.
He dodged the bullet there, didn't he? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And my buddy, Ian Smart, he was the Sorra UK.
He was.
He started it. He's the one that got in touch with Sorra in Spain, brought it over. So I have to give him credit for that. He started to get the ball rolling.
He was a nice guy.
Still is.
Yep.
Top bloke.
Really
so
nice guy.
I thought, right. He said, do you want it? He knows that kind of the marketing side of thing is my passion and the bit I really enjoy. I thought, why not? Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to do that. So I built a Sorra UK website, took some photos, and it's just evolved.
And jumped in.
I did.
Good lad.
And learned, and I've made mistakes. And I'm trying to...
Sponsored a dodgy YouTuber.
All the Trials Day kit, all the Trials Day instructors.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's great having you guys on board, and it's great having Ben Butterworth on board. You know, that man's got more custom kits than I think any other.
I'm going to be honest, I am very jealous of Ben's aerial Sorra kit.
Yes.
Are you listening to that?
That was like, just so you know, Ben's once again off camera. He's literally sat there, so he can hear me, blowing smoke up him. But his aerial Sorra kit
is a bit special.
It is
Unreal.
a proper cool set of kit.
And it just shows you, it doesn't matter what scene you're in, whether it's the modern scene, the twin shock scene, the pre-65 kit, you can tailor it to loop right for that machine.
Yeah.
And that is brilliant, I think.
And that's a good point. What we try and do, Stu, is the customer, or in your case, it's a business, whoever, they get in touch and I see what their idea is and we try and develop it with the customer. So, yes, I need it to be this colour to match this bike. I'd like this logo. And we just go back and forth. And once the design's dialed in,
We're over the moon with ours. It's just fantastic.
yours looks amazing, actually.
And you were so good with I just want to alter this. Boom. What about that? Yes, that's. But you've got that nice personal touch to it as well, which is it's important, isn't it?
I think I suppose the defining quality is because full disclosure, when I started to ride in Sorra kit back when Ian was still part of the Sorra UK side of things. The first lots of kit that came through, because I was doing the reviews, and I was always wearing S3 kit at the time, but I'm also a contracted rider for Alpine Star for the mountain bike side, so it was basically Alpine Star weren't bothered, and I could just wear Trials kit for when I'm riding a Trials bike. It's no big deal. I'm not on a mountain bike, whatever. They don't make Trials motorcycle kit, Alpine Star, apart from the boots, obviously.
Yep.
Which, Alpine Star, if you're listening, I really like my boots, yeah? Really good.
I like them too.
Everybody.
I'm a size 11.
And Ben really likes his boots as well.
Yeah.
And Sandy is wearing Gurn.
Gurn. I love Gurn.
I was
Big fan of
always
Gurn.
a Style Martin boy, and must have had dozens of pairs of them.
You find the boot that fits.
Yeah, you do.
the shoe.
shoe.
If the shoe fits, boys.
Cinderella.
If the shoe fits. I don't mind a Gurn, actually. I rode in Gurn when I was a kid. Again, good boot brands. There's not many of them, and it's good.
There's good kit and there's bad kit.
Yeah, there's no in between.
It.
There's good
And
kit
that's it.
and there's bad kit.
There's plenty of good kits out there as well. I'm not saying Sorra's the absolute best. It's one of the best in my opinion. And also, ability to make custom kit, I feel, is one of our strong arms.
There's also, I think there's been an evolution of the brand as well.
Most definitely.
In the beginning, it needed work. It needed work, But now,
I had a very
night and
early
day
set,
difference.
and they were a bit saggy in all the wrong places. And now the kit that comes through is nice.
And the dry flex that's just coming through now, which your new kit that we're currently making for you, that's even better.
That's
again.
right. You had it here first. I've got new kit, people.
And adapting as they go.
Yeah, that's the only way. Listen to criticism, build, get better.
Yeah,
it's the only way. And also, sometimes I can't reply to my emails as quick as I should. I do have another job. I'm doing my best. So if you're watching this and you're waiting for a reply, I'll do it as soon as I finish this episode.
That's all any of us can do, our best. So you're having some trick stuff up. This is Sandy's new bike. And when I say new, it's not been ridden yet.
Yeah, we do
might
have in the
ride it
studio this week.
Might ride it out here.
Yes, I mean, it's still got all the virgin bobbles on the tyres and everything. I take it you're going to get yourself some very, very nice kit to
I've
make yourself
actually
splendid on that.
had the kit designed. Hopefully we can make it come up on screen in just a second. But yeah, no, I've had a black kit designed. Yeah,
Very nice.
Oh, stealth. I'm a big fan of that.
Moody.
Yeah, very moody, very
I'm
stealth.
a fan of the moody.
If you are
kit.
listening, by the way, right now, we have in the studio this week, we've been joined by a ceramic dog on the table, which obviously Trialtube's quite famous for putting up the odd cutaway.
we found it. We found it.
We
over
found
there.
the actual dog. And we also have a brand new, supplied by JSM, Gas GP 250, which is Sandy's new ride.
It
Yeah.
is beautiful, isn't it?
Look at that exhaust.
Yeah, so it's the first one with the Aquapovic exhaust. There's the 3-way tech rear shock.
Yeah, with the bigger
Chamber at the bottom.
reservoir.
Yeah.
And we've got the Kashima coated tech
Oh,
stanchions.
basically, he's gone full send, full pimp.
We didn't quite know when Gas obviously it had its troubled years. We didn't even know if the brand was going to survive.
Yeah.
And I'm very much a Gas fan. I love them. I compete on them. I use them on the school. And I was a little bit worried, I'll be honest. And when we heard that KTM took it over, we knew there was going to be changes. And they had a lot to sort out. And I personally think, wow,
Yeah.
they have upped the game.
I mean, let's be honest.
Big
I'd love
time.
to see some of the cutaways. You know, when they when you make a video, most of it ends up on the cutting room floor. I would have loved to see what would have ended up on the cutting room floor from old Gas to new. I already know that the mass cull of what was there to what was, even the old factory, the factory that was on the side of the main road just outside of Barcelona, it was still a nice building.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it was nothing to sort of sneer at, but the new Gas building looks like something out of the
Yeah,
future.
the House of Brands. Yeah.
It really is.
Amazing. And just you can see the KTM influence. There's a lot of Torx bolts on this bike. It's quite an intuitive design.
Oh, it's a KTM. I mean, it's a gas.
And before you even ride it, just when you grab it and we wheeled it into here, you just know it's built.
Yeah.
It's not thrown together. It's not a
solid.
Friday afternoon siesta bike. Or,
We've all had
which
one.
we've all had.
Yeah.
We've all had. You know full well this is a prime time, dinner time Wednesday. Every single one is on it.
Yeah.
And
Build quality
I like
has
that.
definitely gone up.
It's reassuringly quality.
Quality control as well. Yeah. I think that's the thing that when we went and did the Trialtube episode when we were at Gas,
Yeah.
the thing, because I wasn't allowed to film, by the way. There were certain areas of the factory that you're just not allowed to film in.
When was that?
Last year.
End of 22.
No,
Was it not?
23,
Early.
early summer.
Ah.
Early summer 23. Was that it? Yeah.
They're super serious.
Anyway, I was blown away by the amount of bikes that they've already built. You know, the quality control, the tooling, the build sequence of putting one together. It just reminded me of like that build sequence of when they're at the start of the start of Terminator 2, where you see all the like T100s being put together. It was a bit like that. I was like, Christ Almighty, this is a manufacturing plant, and the quality of the bikes and the finish. I think they've just come a long way.
You know they're serious. They've got Busto on board. They've got a great program of other great riders coming through. These guys are wanting to topple HRC.
I mean, yeah, it's now. I'm going to be honest. I think it's now KTM versus Honda.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's happening at a higher level, and all we're getting is better bikes.
Yeah.
We're the lucky ones.
Yeah.
We get the offshoot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get the better bikes that, because it has to be a production bike that's used
We
to a
know
degree.
that Busto is doing testing on a fuel-injected bike.
Yes, there's been rumours, but nothing substantiated. Don't lose your
No,
mind.
we're not. There's no proof to that. It's just the rumour mill.
But there's a rumour mill. His
So it
bike
shows
has
how
had-
far with it also with this being incredible. They're still looking into the future and going, can we make better? Can we do better? What else can we do?
they've had fuel injection on KTM now for a decade. So
They were the pioneers with the TPI. weren't they? They know what's right and wrong.
I mean, obviously, that leads to another conversation. Topic.
debate.
After we all saw, from the fuel injected to the carburation side of things, we all saw Adam Raga's bike at the DL12.
Yes, who'd have wrote that one?
Controversial. Is it or not?
I think so. From
Well,
what I
you have
heard,
your take.
well, so I spoke to the guys at Sherco, and
On the night or
on the night,
Yep.
on the night, feet away from the bike, which the guys at Sherco have been very supportive of the channel in the past, and they helped me out with the last Sherco I had, which wasn't a bad bike.
Rode really nice.
It did. It was light. Actually, you rode off on it once, Stu, and never came back.
You were instructing on Trials Day with me, and he walked up, and I went, "Ooh, that's nice," and I jumped on it, and I didn't return
Into the sunset.
I set off,
It didn't come back.
I left Danny to carry on teaching, and I sodded off for half an hour.
I was
and,
like, I wonder if he's bringing my bike
I
back.
came back very,
Happy.
very impressed and surprised.
Yeah, I think that bike's come a long way,
It flipping has.
And so basically, as Sherco explained it, Adam tested a fuel-injected bike days before, but obviously he's come off a bike with a carb. They built a bike with a carb for him for the evening, so because that's the style of power delivery he's used to.
Yep.
And they were building a bike that was just close
It's what he's
to
done
as
for the
they
last
could.
30 years.
Yeah.
It's what he knows.
It's what he knows, and they will be changing him over to a fuel-injected bike in the future.
Okay, so it was because new signing.
Yeah.
The stage was set quite a there's
Big stage,
consequences,
big stage.
isn't there?
Hasn't had a massive amount of time
No,
to test
okay,
that bike.
so I get it now. So it was just like, welcome to Sherco. We'll make you comfortable immediately, but we're going to get you onto the
I
fuel
personally think he'd got his own favourite carburettor called Frank, and Frank followed him from every bike to every bike.
You never
Why
know,
was it a bloke's name?
It might have been Francesca.
But the
I just didn't want to.
I mean, overall, let's be honest. If he's come
lucky
off one
carburettor.
style of bike, he's gonna want to get to another bike, and that bike be comfortable. He's not
Yes.
gonna want it to be any different. There was plenty of comments. I even had comments across Instagram on the Trialtube Instagram.
DMs?
No, straight in the comments.
Right.
Straight of people saying to me, because I'm such an advocate for fuel injection in the past, that if Adam Raga says so, then obviously Danny Butler's full of it and all of this. So that was fine. But at the same time, because I think that Sherco got a lot of flack because they're saying, does that then damage the marketability of the fuel injected bike for the future? And if they've just, if you had a GP level rider come to your brand and ask for a few things just for a little while, you'd give them that.
Of course you would. Of course you would. You'd be daft not to have a rider of Adam's calibre and talent
And take them seriously.
If he said, I want that bike painted yellow, you would.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
We've seen
And
weirder
look how
things.
Look how he rode it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Second
of
place.
course you would.
Yeah, that's...
He's only going to boost the brand.
And I know
massively.
from sorry there, Sandy.
Sorry.
I know after speaking directly with Emma Bristow, current world champion, many times world champion, and also for giving Emma more props for the blokes that like to highlight in the comments how wrong I am. I'm taking the onus off me. I know that Emma is staying on the fuel injected bike and has rode the fuel injected bike all year to a world championship win, and at the British Championship spanks most of the boys in the class.
Also,
Phenomenal talent.
Alice Minter on the orange version,
Correct.
also riding, fuel injected on the world stage, also in club trials near me, loving the bike. So I think now you've explained why the carb was on the bike, or your theory why.
Well,
It
not
makes
even
sense.
that. They
has
just
to
told me.
be-
Yeah, told you straight.
There has to be, because it was such a quick thing, there has to be a crossover period.
Let's make him comfortable.
Just to keep the rider safe,
Yep.
keep his confidence levels up.
Which is we see it in Formula One all
Yep.
the time. One little thing and they lose their mind, and they're at a point of like incredible engineering of those cars.
Yep.
Like, I bet there's an engineer somewhere in a Formula One pit garage going, "This guy's an idiot." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't know what he's on about.
Yet again, he is a factory rider. That is a factory bike. We know factory bikes are not production bikes.
Yeah.
It is it's absolutely fine.
A factory decision.
It is.
Yeah.
And how can it be bad for the brand? He just finished second
And we
on
all
his first ever outing.
Yeah.
And it was a stunning ride, a tactical, masterful ride. How can that be bad for the brand? It's not bad.
after TRS let him go.
And that is an anomaly I cannot understand.
Wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall when that went down.
We don't know which way it went, do we?
We've decided.
No, it's
We
just
don't
I mean,
know.
for a start, Hanny Old Bear didn't get a ride at the DL12.
Okay.
No.
We haven't seen him at many other indoors this season so far, not the invitational ones and such. We've seen a lot of riding on Instagram, and he looks pretty. He's Daniel Chalabert. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's he's not at the indoors, is he? And do you know who else isn't at the indoors? You may not have noticed. Giovanni Fajardo.
No. What happened? Where'd he go? What happened? Is he in rehab?
Is he in rehab? I'm not sure if he's in rehab.
Breaking news.
He raised too hard at New
You
Year's
heard it
Eve.
here.
He might just be having a bit of time out, a bit of siesta.
Well,
who knows?
He had a tough season last year, let's be honest. He had a neck injury.
Yeah, well, that's not nice.
I mean, it's even worse if you're riding into the section and can't pick your head up. And if anybody's rode high-level trials, they'll know that you have to look up because that's kind of where you need to go.
If he has had some sort of compound fracture on a vertebra, that is not a quick fix. As you know, I did that silly car crash.
Yeah,
it knocks you.
Any sort of major
takes some time
fracture
to get over.
Maybe he's picking his battles. He's choosing.
And you know what? Wise of him than just blundering him.
Yeah, why would he want to go and do the indoors? In the indoors, he's all big slams, big landings. I don't think that would be wise for somebody who had a very serious back injury.
What age is Fiona? Roughly.
I don't know, but what I do know, I can't remember. That. Wait there. I'll ask our man off screen in a minute to do some research for us. Live research, live investigative journalism, where we've just basically. How old is Giovanni Fajardo? I don't know.
When you're in your 20s, young 20s, you mend fast. And
you
your
do.
bones are made of rubber and your brain's daft and you ride.
Oh, Giovanni's in his 30s, easy.
That's what I'm saying.
Mid to late.
When you get... What is he?
Well, just in, 39 years old.
Is he... Well, do you know what? He's allowed to take and pick and choose his
He can have a
battles.
beat, mate.
Flipping
Fair
heck.
dues.
I tell you what, and likewise with Adam, riding at that level, over 40 years old, what a boy.
Recovery doesn't come the same.
What a boy.
Right, going to put this out there. Why are these riders still riding at this level at this point? Is it because the youth trials contingent is struggling?
That is a very fair comment. These guys at the top level now have been... The sport is evolved. The sport is evolved. The techniques have evolved to such a high level. I don't think the youngsters can just come in and bang, have it. I mean, they're trying, but wow. I mean, Adam has... his balance on the back wheel stood still and then leaping, that's not something you can just learn in a year or two.
No.
That's decade or two.
But the youngsters coming into trials now, they know trials as it is in this moment.
Yes.
Those riders have progressed to that level, but as you can see in all things, it's like, shall we take Supercross for instance? The riders are getting faster because the bikes are getting faster. But if you've only ever rode bikes that move at that speed, that's the speed you move at.
Yep.
So if they've come into the sport later to see a futuristic version of the sport that we're now commenting on, would they not be... they've been introduced to this style of riding earlier, giving them more time to get better.
Yeah, and I think the development of the bikes has slowed right down. They're getting better each time, definitely. But it's just getting fine-tuned now, isn't it?
And you'll see any club trial now, you'll see your 10-year-olds, what they're trying to do, they're trying to hop on the back wheel from rock to rock to rock. That is their norm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the new
They
normal.
aspire.
It's how... It's called progression. That's what happens with every single sport. With every generation, the bar goes higher and higher and higher and higher.
Well, I think that youth trials in general, I think there is a strong contingent of youth riders, and there's some great clubs out there as well.
I agree, and I think at the moment, when you and I were trialing Dan, it was two routes: hard route, easy route, and you were a clubman, an intermediate, or an expert. That is it. Them are your choices. Now,
For the adult trials,
for the adult trials,
because there used to be youth trials
youth only
and
trials,
then adult trials. There was, shall I say, there's more trials in general? Was there more?
No, I
or
don't
were
think
there just youth clubs? Because we used to ride a lot at
there was
like the
more
Cheshire Centre Youth
youth-
Club.
Yep.
We'd ride at North Derby Youth Club.
Yes.
YMSA.
Yes.
Although YMSA adult level trials are, for anybody that's been there, they are awesome. Just don't go there and think you can just enter expert because you've rode expert at another trial.
Okay, another
Higher
level.
level.
YMSA is like where,
But your average club trial now caters for a much, much, much wider
It does.
spectrum.
It
of
has
rider.
to.
And that's why Trials is booming. There is more people on Trials
course.
bikes, no way. But we've now got 3 routes and a 50-50 on 2 of those.
Nah.
4, 5.
5 routes.
Sometimes
Five
5
routes.
routes. Yeah,
Is it
well,
really 5 routes
we
now?
have white route, which is sportsman, clubman, inters,
50-50.
expert. Yeah.
Expert.
They've got everybody
Man with
covered.
sidecar.
So
Man wearing wellies.
You're basically saying big van, family full of people, everyone pulls a bike out and everyone's got a route. Or
Everybody's
choice.
got a route to ride, but
That's good.
it's good, but it doesn't make it easy for the organizer.
It doesn't, but it makes
no.
it accessible and it grows the sport. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I get it.
It is. But Trials is booming.
Trials is
Isn't that
booming.
good?
I think it's from a club trial perspective. I take my hat off to anybody that has the time to set a trial, put a trial out, or even look to organise a trial.
These are the unsung heroes.
These are the unsung heroes of
These-
trials.
Without these people, there is no trials.
No,
People forget that bit. People honestly turn up and just think, oh, the Trials Pixies have put this on. No, that's not true. People don't forget that. I think there's a lot of people actually that do. I go back
Remember
on
that.
that. They appreciate it.
I was taught from a young age to thank your observer.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Say good morning, thank them. If you finish a trial, go back to I used to hand my number in when I was a kid and then ride back to the section with a flask.
Yeah.
Like,
And then
especially on some of the winter trials.
They're then
Christ.
pulling the flags at the end. They're cold. They're hungry.
Yeah.
They're taking the bibs home. They're washing them. They're ironing them. These are the salt of the earth.
We wouldn't
of
be here
trials.
if it wasn't.
Yeah, we
not.
wouldn't be sat here
We
because
would not.
we're sat here because
so
of their
We've got
efforts.
to give a massive
Big up all of the
Salute.
clubs, all of the observers, all
the
of the
unsung
people.
silent heroes.
absolutely.
The secretaries now who have to deal with the entries. I mean, that's
Yep.
we could have a whole podcast
To be honest,
on just that.
we had a light touching on Sport 80 in one of the previous episodes, and let's be honest, can you imagine? So we were looking at Sport 80 from an entry point of view, and we're like, sat there smashing our head against the keys, thinking, why can't I just get entered in this trial?
Yeah.
And then we're forgetting that there's somebody on the other end
Dealing with it.
dealing with the entries coming in.
Well, we've just had shout out to South Shropshire MCC, my club. We put the Vic Britain on. We say we, a load of great people, Mark Wells and Jim Teague, amongst others. But
They comment often on the videos.
yeah, and Jim, the secretary, has just had to deal with just entries. I think it nearly sent him over the edge. They were coming in.
I think it's
just-
easy if you can just enter on the day where is a trial that can.
Yeah.
It just makes life a lot easier.
It does. It does.
But I don't say the Vic Britain or the Fisher that's happened.
These are
recently.
big trials that people know what they're doing.
Like the Benrose, perhaps it is. Yeah, you've got to get
You need some kind of perhaps pre-entry, but yeah, Ben Rose is a good one. I think that's coming up reasonably soon.
It is. Obviously, when this goes out, the first 2 episodes would have been out back to back, as in week on, simply because we're well giddy and we want to give trials people what they need. And what they need is content. So hopefully you are enjoying the podcast. If you are enjoying the podcast, by the way, send us your thoughts and feelings.
We do like to know. We like feedback.
We like feedback, constructive criticism.
Yeah, and please share.
Or a pat on the
share
back.
it.
Sharing's caring, isn't it?
Yeah, or if you do
Definitely.
like it, just go, well done. It's nice.
Yeah, nice one.
But equally, if you're not into it, we
Jog
got
on.
thick skin. Tell us.
Tell us, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. You'll notice
We're gonna have the lovers-
I am not against a good argument in the comments.
There's going to be lovers and haters.
Yeah, there is. And we're lovers, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I think the whole thing about the club scene right now is I think the club trials are booming. We want more.
Definitely.
Like, I know, there's being greedy, but there's grab it with both hands. If you've just got into trials and you're listening to this right now and you've just bought a bike, don't be afraid. Come, join us.
Yeah. I mean, on any Sunday, there is literally 5 to 8 options if you're willing to travel between half an hour and 2 hours.
I mean, obviously at Trials Day, we're getting people come in who have never ridden a Trials bike.
Brilliant.
They're wanting to, just see what Trials is about.
Yeah.
But I get a lot that are going, I want to start Trials, but before I go and buy a bike and kit and everything and then realise I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, no, it's not for me, I'm going to come and have a go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, it's amazing. They'll come to a couple of the trial schools, as you know, Dan, they'll then go and, we advise, go and buy this bike. What's your budget? I've got £2,000. Right, this.
Get this. Yeah.
And then they're going, and what club are you going to? Where do you live? Right, I'll go there. What do I do then? Well, go and just introduce and go. I've never done this before.
If you come to a trial, so when thinking back now a long time ago, my first experience of a motorcycle trial for me, not for my dad, because my dad he was a mechanic at motocross GP level, and he rode beach races. He's done Western, he's done the Blackpool beach race, he'd done Southport beach race back when they were all... It was like a big beach race series in the UK back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Early 90s, sorry.
Barmouth.
Barmouth, he's done Barmouth, yeah.
Yeah.
And he did all of those beach races, but my dad won the Vic Britain in the clubman class.
Really?
Yeah, man, on an RTL.
Nice.
Which, if you're going to win a trial, ride an RTL. He wasn't on a Ben Butterworth spec RTL.
I mean, who is? Factory rider?
Wow.
Who is?
I mean,
who is on that bike?
If you could teleport him back in time, he'd be world champion on that bike.
On that bike,
He would.
Lejeune would be fighting him in the car park to ride it.
HRC, call Ben.
Yeah, it may as well be. It's so bespoke.
By the way, we're recording this and he's still sat watching us.
He's shaking his head and
He's
flicking
shaking
his
his
head.
head.
He's smiling.
But it's a quiet smile, a soft smile, a smile any woman would love. And basically, anyway, riding an RTL during that period was very difficult because it was a tank. But when originally my dad wanted me to ride motocross, but I was way too much of a flower child back then. You know, I was just,
A flower child.
You know, a bit. I wasn't as aggressive as what I could. I was.
He was a dainty lad.
I was a dainty youth. You know,
He was slender.
I was.
He was not a brute. I know he's turned into a brute, but
the bike was definitely going to knock me about more than the other way around. You know.
Yeah.
And so we went and did a season of motocross, riding for the Wally Wasp Club, which was
Wally Wasps.
Yeah.
Brilliant club.
Unfortunately, though, full of really fast people.
Yeah, Ray Rosen, who's my buddy from back. He's
Ray, yeah.
pinned.
And if you turned up there going, I've never done this before,
And I'm well scared.
They'd go and use you as grip.
Yeah. And
Whereas
I was used as grip.
If you go to a trial and say, I've never done this before, I guarantee you somebody will go, right, don't worry, follow me, I'll explain how it goes.
Make your brew.
Yeah.
It
was a lot more welcoming. Basically, I was riding around in my...
It's worth noting, I mean, I said no end of the beginner riders from Trials Day. They've got the bike, they've got the kit, they've come and had some lessons, they're away to go. And now there's the Dead Easy trials.
Yes.
Oh, that is the best ever.
That is the best introduction ever to competitive trials. Popping over Man 17.
Man 17, do some cracking ones.
Dead Easy series.
They do a Dead Easy road trial.
Yeah. And it does what
a
it
Dead
says
Easy
on the
road
tin.
trial.
Yeah, awesome.
It teaches you how to ride through flags and understand the rules. It's brilliant. There's never been a better intro into it.
Trials
And I think
rules.
that's a lot of these combined things is why Trials is booming.
Yeah, it's accessible and it's welcoming.
Easy to understand as well, boys. I think we'll agree that trials rules are pretty easy.
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward.
And people are falling in love with the sport. Hence, they're wanting their nice posh kit with all the nice logos. It's their hobby. It's their thing.
It's their day off.
Some like watching football. Some like watching cricket. Some like rugby. Some just love trials.
Nothing more than talking about trials on a podcast.
I know, right? And that hour flies by.
It really does. Obviously, if you are listening to this right now, this episode's sponsor, if you've got this far, thank you very much, is the lovely people at Sorra UK, which Sandy knows very well, of course.
Me, myself, and I.
Sorra, though, a brand that was actually came on the scene during the early 90s. Worn
Who was
by
the factory rider then?
Diego Bossis.
Big name.
Big name. Massive.
Great talent. Oh, my God.
And then they also made the... it was the SO Ultron kit that was for Joachim Hindren. Do you remember that bike?
No. Yep.
The green gas.
Yeah.
Wow.
A bright green. I'm also going to... Was it vomit green?
It
was vile,
Kermit,
wasn't it? Do you remember?
Green.
Was it purple and green?
Kermit green.
Yeah, and gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not the best. They had like a weird off-colour front mudguard.
They were rad.
No two matched, I think. It was. I think what they did was basically they said to Sorra, "Can you make us some bespoke kit to match our really, really terrible-looking bikes?"
Pedro's plastics weren't consistent.
I think they were like 10 shades of green.
They were making custom kit back then, and I think then the Sorra brand had faded away for whatever reason. And Ricard, who owns Sorra in Spain, is based up in the mountains above Barcelona. He revived the name. He bought the name. He grew up as a kid following those riders. Very passionate about trials.
So he's resurrected it.
And Sorra was resurrected.
I think that applaud that
About
man.
4 years ago.
Applaud that
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
If you are wondering, by the way, Sorra actually stands for sand
in Catalan.
in
and
Catalan.
The two
Not-
little dots is him and his mates. They
Holding hands, going out riding
They're going
together.
out for a ride together.
It's quite majestic, isn't it?
Ain't it? Buddy's going for a ride.
Sandy's just looking at the logo now. Imagine him and Ben Butterworth riding across. I don't know. What's that?
Into the sunset.
Into the sunset.
I thought the O was more like like a ladybird. No, like a butterfly's head with the two little antennae.
It's also like a bit of a face.
It does look like a face, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you are wondering, this is not the
Apparently it's
illustration podcast. No. This is not art time with Dan, Stu, and Sandy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, talk about a tangent. But well, I mean, obviously we've touched on club trials there and the excellent work that has been done around the UK and also around Europe. And I know there'll be a lot of listeners. Trialtube's actual, I say, consumer base has got a 30% coverage over in the States as well.
Cool.
So
Is it really?
drop us an email and tell us
And
how.
Australia's trial scene is booming.
Yeah, Australia's trial scene's booming as well.
Canada's. I've got a few buddies over there up in British Columbia who, what they do with trials bikes and the terrain they ride on is insane.
I mean,
they're struggling for stuff to ride on, aren't they?
They've got, gosh.
those rock rolls that I would normally ride down on a mountain bike, you just go up on a...
So I mean, that's what we're noticing more and more. There is a great crossover with trials and the off-road cycling fraternity.
Most definitely. I think certainly in my little bubble in Shropshire, there's so many mountain bikers and I'm just trying to drag them in. I've got pretty much a spare bike. Just come and have a go on this. Come and have a go on this.
And we get quite a lot passing through trials day.
It pulls them in.
They're cool. They're nice guys. They're nice.
The more the merrier.
When you are, like we went to Sheffield.
Yeah.
And we bump into faces, maybe faces we've not seen for 10 years or even 20 years. It's like you saw them last week at the trial. It's lovely, isn't it? You're just like,
nothing changes. I think
you're just bantering away and that's lovely.
Community.
It is a community.
It's proper.
And it's a nice one.
No, I think
There's not too much bitchiness.
No, there's not really, unless you ride non-stop. Anyway, that's 3 episodes, Ben. I got it into 3 episodes.
Can I just say, I like non-stop.
It's whatever blows your frock up, guys.
And I like stop. I like it all.
I like it all. Okay, so do you know what my problem is with no stop, right?
Go on.
It's the people.
Get off!
No, you're not. Don't get this the wrong way, okay? Don't get it wrong. I love people that ride trials, okay? I like trials riders. I like talking about trials. I like pre-65. I like twin shock. I like all of it. I don't like the poisonous people that think that it's okay to just basically, shall we say, have a negative view about the progression of the sport because it's not as good as what it was when I was a lad.
No, the sports, there's so many different tangents to the sport and it's
Exactly.
all good.
Exactly.
You know what I don't like about no stop?
Go on.
The ones that stop and hop around and still get a clean.
Stop it up around and get clean.
That really rattles me.
Oh, mate,
When
I'm
that
not going to say
wheel
who, but there's a
isn't
select
moving,
bunch
but
of
they're bobbling the
riders.
head round and they think, it's like, no, you fucking stopped at a 5.
But ultimately, there's several ways to skin a cat, and trials as a whole.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it depends on the event.
Also, if you're going to enforce the rules, if you're going to run a
Yes.
no-stop event,
Make it non.
make it non-stop.
Yes.
And it's
If
also
those
about having the
spokes aren't
sections
spinning,
set out
it's a
so they're
5.
feasible to be done non-stop. And let's be honest, if you set a 180 corner around a bunch of rocks and somebody goes into the corner and does 6 hops and pulls off and they pull off with a clean, that ain't non-stop.
It's not. And if that corner is not cleanable, just put your foot down, take the one.
There will be talented no-stop riders that will old school it around the corner. And you know what?
They'll just go, they'll pick the front wheel up,
Yeah.
they'll pivot around on the back wheel non-stop. And
Big
that
body
is it.
movement.
Take my hat
Am I
off
right,
to them.
Ben? Yeah.
Bernie Schreiber.
Yes.
Bernie Schreiber. See?
Absolutely.
These riders...
Shout out.
And
So
like,
there's a little bit of rules need enforcing a
think
little stronger.
this is what the argument has been with the... I can't believe we're getting into this conversation. This is what the argument has been with the enforcement of it at the World Championship level is because you cannot observe no stop.
It's very difficult.
Fairly.
And continuity from observer to observer.
No, you can't. And it's unfair
Without having a
putting that
sensor
pressure
on the rear
on the
wheel and a
observer.
light on the handlebars.
It's impossible.
It is
That's
impossible.
a good idea, is that?
I know, right? Just thought about that one there. You can patent that. Boom.
I like that.
So, whilst we've been on this podcast,
He oversaw.
breaking news.
Oh, go on.
Breaking news. Come on, Ben. Well, by the way, we've got a man in the chair.
He's feeding us information.
He's feeding us information. And in this moment right now, we have just found out live that the World Championship has gone to stop allowed, and you are allowed to go backwards, just like the British Championship
And on
is
a
right
time
now.
limit?
Yes.
On a time limit.
That makes sense.
FIM, I tip my cap.
When did that rule just...
They were just eavesdropping this conversation.
Just now,
What,
whilst
30
we're having this
seconds ago?
conversation, like literally 30 seconds ago.
No. What timing? Amazing.
But of course, when this podcast comes out,
No,
you've
that's
already
all
known
news.
that.
You already know that when this comes out. I might make the second the third, or might even make this the first. Like
Oh,
I
no,
might
you're
just,
right.
I might just put
Take a
reels
soundbite out of this.
No, I'll take a soundbite out of this. So yeah, basically, we've just found out that the World Championship have. So the FIM, nice work. Is Terry Michaud still in charge? Do we know?
They must have had an influx
Get on Google, Ben.
of common sense somewhere.
Well, there
Somebody took
was
common sense tablets.
another. Obviously, we
No.
spoke about this on the first episode. We spoke about
Yep.
this throwbacks to 2023. The king of trials, Tony Bo,
Yes.
was on Spanish TV and in Spanish press saying that if something isn't done about the rules, then
They're gonna kill the
trials
sport.
they're going to kill
They're
the
gonna
sport.
kill the
Fair
sport.
play to the man for speaking up. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was the right man to influence it.
yep, the man.
let's be honest. If you are a legend of the sport, an anomaly in time that we're living in this way, I'm just being passed
We've
this
been
off
past
camera.
info.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, Terry Michaud,
Okay.
FIM Trial Commission Director, stated global conditions have changed considerably since pre-65. No, I'm joking. That was me. That was me. That's got nothing to do with him. That was me.
Priceless.
Since I stopped riding and got beaten by Geordie Terrace, no, still that's me. It's nothing to do with Terry Michaud. A majority of manufacturers and a number of riders expressed their desire for the greatest possible freedom in expressing their enormous technical abilities in the sections with the main aim of putting on a show. That's basically why anybody would watch high-level sport, correct?
Yes.
Well, I say fair play to him for even like listening and changing direction. Because
They perhaps had no choice in the matter. Perhaps all the riders and all the manufacturers
Got
pack
together.
it in, or
Or we
set it
go.
up on his own.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it almost happened in Formula One. I
Yeah.
know it almost happened in Supercross.
Yeah.
If
And golf.
enough people stand together
Yeah.
and say, stop making this podcast.
You are ruining.
We'll carry on anyway.
Oh,
Carry on anyway.
Keep filming. Keep filming.
To this end, the FIM has decided that its trial GP organisations will focus primarily on visibility and the quality of the show put on. By the way, I've got to applaud.
Make it a show.
Yeah, I've got
Yep.
to applaud the FIM because this year, for the first time, trials was live streamed from every round of the World Championship,
Fair dues.
which is fair.
Who
Yeah.
was the commentator?
I have no idea. Some dodgy Stokey youth.
Some jockey.
Some dodgy youth that basically got actually no, the first commentator compared Tony Bow to a mountain goat. So
There you go.
I muted him.
Does
And the second one, no, I didn't.
no, you had him on game. He's full of it. Him. Absolutely
does
full of
that
crap.
commentator use silly words like fiasco?
The first one did, yeah.
I like Fiasco Total.
Oh, I've lost it.
Goodness me.
Anyway,
that's good news.
so what good news, eh?
That's really positive.
That
really
is
positive
news.
Well done to the FIM. Yeah, I'll finish reading it because
Okay,
we may as
are
well.
we're getting the real version.
And we'll get the real version. We're getting the real version. A bit more of the real version
Okay.
right now. The FIM looks forward to an exciting 2024 season. Regulations for the FIM for the 24 FIM Trial World Championship will be published in the coming days.
Amazing.
And in the coming days, so will I be.
Oh, God.
in your ears.
I'm basically excited about the fact that that Trial GP has just gone well. To
Brilliant.
report this live,
We need to report
Common
back.
sense
We'll-
prevails.
let last. I'm guessing
Hope it
that
works.
Minders will be included this
Wow.
season also.
Yeah, of course they will.
Because if
Brilliant.
it's going stop and up, then it's just I'm so
And
excited.
it can be controlled through the time limit.
Yeah,
It's
course
as
it
simple
can.
as that.
I am absolutely, for lack of a better word,
Fantastic.
stoked.
I think yeah. What we'll do is
Can't say that.
we'll have to just sort of get a couple of rounds,
Totally awesome.
get a couple of
Nobody
rounds,
says that anymore, does he?
get a couple of rounds under our belt, and let's report back. See.
Definitely. We'll
what it
see how
looks
we
like.
think. At the end of the day, all we can do as consumers of trial content, consumers of trials videos, consumers of the sport, is just enjoy what's being put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot to enjoy.
There is
The
a lot to
bikes have
enjoy.
never been better. The kit has never been better. The clubs have never been better. The
Accessibility.
coverage has never been better.
Yeah. I think that now
It's great.
I think we've just, I'm going to say this, boys, you know, it might be a big statement or not, but I think that Trials has just reached a tipping point there.
It's fantastic
Because
where it's going.
people say the good old days, but I think you'll
I think
find
we're in them.
when I was,
Definitely.
I think when I was a kid growing up at Trials, and you'd go to a world round. I'm going to take Hawkston Park, for instance, epic world round.
Yeah.
There'd be thousands of people on the hill, you know?
Yeah.
If you watch any of those old Hawkston
Duke
world
videos,
rounds,
yeah.
Duke videos, or
We
just
need
the
more
coverage.
world rounds in Britain.
We'd love a world round back in Britain,
Yes.
but and obviously that takes some organisation.
I know.
ACU, if you're listening, or somebody, if you, by the way, if you're part of the ACU and you're listening to this, then stop listening to this podcast and get organising a world round.
Yeah, basically.
Jake could do it.
Yeah, Jake could do it. You know, it's just part of a good
I
thing.
think if you are the ACU, get some really enthusiastic trials mad people involved in cracking trials on. Don't just get somebody who's been good at road racing or motocross and then right, you're in charge of trials.
You know
now.
what?
No, don't do that.
Again-
Get somebody who's trials mad.
I don't ever say this, but what the hell's going on? Again, I've got to applaud the FIM. Wait,
You said what now?
I've got to applaud the FIM. Oh God, I feel like I'm going to vomit. I've got to applaud the FIM because, by the way, I do like the FIM. I'm just like saying that in previous years, the riders weren't listened to as well.
They weren't. The riders weren't.
In the last 5
yeah,
years, the FIM have just done reached a pivotal point as
I
well.
think they needed to. They
Even-
realised
Yeah.
it.
But
Even
good
me
on them for
doing the
doing it.
even me doing the commentary, there was no one more shocked
No.
than me.
Well, perhaps they're listening to public opinion.
Well, that's nice. So if you
And
are the
the
public
riders
that swayed that
and the
opinion, great
teams.
work.
Hey, maybe.
Can you imagine if the ACU did the same?
What out of all the manufacturers and everything, what's the newest thing that's walked in? KTM.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
they've come in and gone. Stop it now.
Oh God, I feel like I feel like if you just listened to that live. By the way, that wasn't a sound effect. That was actually Stu Day.
Yeah.
Slapping me.
Slapping me. I don't know, but you know what? Because you know, I only got the job there because people had reached out to people and said, "Oh, why don't you give this lad a go?"
And we're in a digital age where everybody can.
Yeah,
progressive.
It's
People-
progressive.
yeah,
it is,
good.
mate. Yeah, that's really, really good. And
So happy times.
If the ACU did the same, and I know there's a lot of organisation in part, and we've said just how good the clubs are, especially the clubs that then rise to the higher level to run something like a British Championship or
Definitely. Yeah.
take on a World Championship, running a World Championship.
Or promoting youth trials. There's so many clubs that just focus on
we've
youth
got to give a
trials.
shout out to Andy Rich. He has poured his heart and soul into looking after the little electric.
That's the
kids.
guys from MK Off Road, by the way.
Okay.
He and Kaz, they have.
They run
busted
their
a
own championship
nut
just for the Aussies.
just
Yeah.
to bring the little ones in.
Fantastic.
And that's just fantastic.
We've got Llangollen Club doing a very similar thing.
Yeah, there's
and
clubs all
Llandryd
over.
Nod Wales Club. They've got a whole Welsh kind of youth championship.
Yep.
You know, big shout out to Sean King who literally stays up all night just making that stuff happen.
Yet again, the good people behind the
Yeah.
scenes.
Unsung heroes of trials. I might even call this episode like something like the unsung heroes of trials because that's what we're kind of
Yeah,
reporting on
totally.
right now.
You've got you know your observers that come rain or shine. You've got your Mark Critchlows of the world, the nicest woman.
Oh,
in
my
trials
goodness,
She's a legend.
ever.
Yeah.
These people.
Mark, if
need-
you're listening right now, Your
they
Majesty
need
rides
to
better than
be
my dad's.
applauded. These people are what keep the sport alive. It's nice to see at the high end.
Yeah.
Things are changing for the better. Like I said earlier, the bikes are evolving, the sport's evolving, and it's all going in the right direction.
So
It's
are the
lovely.
people. The people are just
Yeah.
what make the sport.
There is more schools around than there ever was. We couldn't have gone to an experience day or a school.
Do you know what I think?
They were
though?
not.
I think at the top, okay, I think there's been, oh God, here we go, I'm going to do it again.
Oh gosh.
I think there's been an oil change at the top. I think
Do you mean
Good
some
analogy.
old farts have died and some new blood's come in?
I think there's been some
Maybe.
new blood,
Yeah.
some new blood, which is helping because when I was a B-class rider there was, shall we say, like an AGM meeting held at Brecon Rocks to decide whether youth trials was going to go no stop or stay stop and hop back in 2000. And there was a vote taken of all the youth riders, and your A class, your B class, your C class were all there. It was at I think it was the Youth Experts. I think that's what it was called. The Youth Experts trial at Brecon Rocks, held by Mansfield Morn Club. Shout out to Terry.
Turned out some amazing riders.
Turned out some fantastic riders. And after we'd had this vote, I can't remember who the representative of the ACU was that was there to record the minutes of the meeting for the for that meeting. I'm just being told in my ear it was Pete Beardmore on the day.
Pete Beardmore, what
Pete
a
Beardmore
legend he was.
He was a legend,
Lovely
indeed.
guy.
However,
Feudal Club.
had this massive, there was this big vote taken, and all of the youth riders voted. And it was, for me, it was, I'll tell you now, it stayed with me until...
Seminal moment. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was a moment in my riding career. The moment when my riding career died. Because it took a vote. All the youth riders voted to stay stop and hop. And this is where my rooted seed of my problem is with the no stop, by the way.
That's why you've got that inbuilt
That's
anger.
why I've got
Is
so...
this pent up?
Oh, this is good. This is like therapy.
This is
the
a
pressure.
counselling session for you,
It
isn't
is a counselling session for me, yeah.
Get it off your chest. Go
I'm
on.
airing my dirty laundry online.
Do it.
Some people do worse online. Sandy's just pulled his hat over his eyes.
That's another platform.
It's another platform.
It's only one conversation.
Anyway, we
before it
had the
comes smudgy
vote.
again, isn't it?
The vote was 99.9% stay stopping up for the youth riders. And guess what the ACU did?
It's the easiest.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What, even though there was a vote?
Yeah.
Oh, even though it was a
So
vote.
why'd you have a
mate.
I
vote?
remember it.
Why did you have a vote? To make us feel special,
This sounds
Sandy.
like the government.
It does a bit, doesn't it? Next episode,
How
politics.
how nice though? There is common sense. It is the easiest rules to observe by a
is.
mile. It is easily the trials can flow because they're simple. Even at club level, they can enter. It can give every observer a stopwatch. They're not even expensive.
Listen, we're having this
Everybody's-
conversation right now, but
everybody's-
online, people are just getting mad right
Losing
now
their
about the
minds.
rule change. There'll
Well,
definitely be another side to the coin. But we
Hey.
can't fix that. But again, great food for thought.
Do you know what my mum used to tell me?
Go on.
You can please some of the people all the time, but you can't please all of the people. No, is it? What's it go like? Dave, what is it? You can please some of the people all the time, all of the people
Some of the time.
Some of the time.
but never all the people all the time.
Yeah, that was pretty good, eh? You got it in
think
the
I
end,
got
didn't
that
you?
in the end.
Yeah. Woo. I'll tell you what, that wasn't an easy one.
We'll have that written on screen for you.
Translating.
I'll have it coming up in captions underneath. We'll have it. Stop. Stop. No, I think you got there in the end.
Yeah.
But well, you just can't please everybody, can you? So
What?
Die trying.
And some people will never be happy no matter what.
No.
As long as they've got a hole in the bum, they'll never be happy.
you know,
That was also one of my mum's sayings.
it could
That's
be-
it. Love you, mum.
there's some other ones as well. I think Ben Butterworth came out with an absolute blinder earlier on.
He said he was so angry.
It made
My
his piss
fist.
This is about Charles' conversation, by the way. He was so angry and he made his
Piss
pee
fist.
fizz.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Well, on that bombshell, I think we need to start and wrap this episode up. We've covered a heck of a lot of ground, some important topics.
Club trials.
And we've had a news flash.
Yeah.
Club trials, live news flash that's late by the time that this
don't
live
matter.
news flash that's 2 weeks old.
It don't matter.
But it was a very good moment here on set. And again, a huge thank you to Sorra UK for the support for this episode, and also everything
Thank
that
you
you
for
do.
what you're
Sandy.
doing to the sport. I think it's brilliant what you're doing.
Well, thank you very much for saying so. I appreciate it. But I think it's all down to everyone who gives an F and puts a bit back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're also. I think if any singular brand or any singular one brand steps up, then it makes everybody else
step
level up.
Too right.
I think we also need to thank everybody who has. If you were on episode 3, well done. Thank you for listening.
You're still with us.
And sticking with us. Thanks.
Yeah,
we
we're gonna
will-
try and keep this
We
going.
will endeavour to be informative, daft as a brush, and hopefully make you giggle in places.
Yeah, and probably
essential.
say the wrong thing at the right time.
Well, yeah. or just be clueless on some things. And
Yeah, I'm hoping to get educated during this because I tried it through the school system and they failed.
I'm learning tons.
Well, as
Every
always, you can catch up with the Trialtube podcast on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube.
The YouTube channel is always good, where you actually don't get to only listen to us, you get to also see our ugly mugs.
See our ugly mugs.
Fab. And the dog.
Face for radio.
You can't see the dog on Spotify.
You
And
cannot.
he doesn't say a lot.
I think we should
No,
put-
no. You can watch it on Spotify, but it's not in as good quality.
okay.
If you watch it on
Okay.
YouTube, it's in 4K,
Okay.
and if you watch it on Spotify, it's 1080.
We're open to any suggestions or comments.
Email us.
Email us.
Slide into our
or,
DMs.
Or good old fashioned. We're on Instagram and Facebook. It's at Trialtube.
At Trialtube, info@trialtube.co.uk for the email as well. Sandy, you can catch up with Sandy at the Trailhead. Is it?
Yeah, or at Sorra.uk.
That's the one.
And I'm Stu Day. You can hit me up at trialstay.com.
Well, once again, thank you very much for listening. If you're driving, don't crash into anything, and see you later.